Bill DeMann, we had to pull you all the way back from Europe, halfway across the world.
I was still meant to be there for another month, but you're like, Liam, we need you here.
We need you back.
This is a big week of sport, the Women's Grand Final. We need you.
What a win by the Adelaide Crows.
They are the pride of South Australia.
They are squawking, I tell you. Both Adelaide Crows squads.
And the men's are like, whatever you do, we can do better. And destroyed Premiership favourites GWS. But what a first round of footy. 400.
There's a lot of 400s here. 400,401 fans ended up turning up to the first round of AFL football. That's a huge win by the AFL, and big shout out to all the fans out there, particularly Bombers supporters. 78,000 people at the game on Saturday night.
78,000 Bombers fans have already bought the Grand Final tickets.
We already have.
How good's that?
We've jumped the gun. And we're going to lose to Brisbane next week, probably.
And believe it or not, there's other sports. There was A-League. Sydney, I know this is a big surprise. They are going to be champions. They won. They're going to finish first. I know. What a comeback for them.
Absolutely huge.
Out of nowhere.
They've had a monumental season, this one.
Yes,
and Formula One Grand Prix for all of those out there. I used to remember, Liam, back in the day, you could hear the motors from miles and miles away. I could hear it from my own home.
Yes.
What have they done to the engines? They are completely silent now. I could not hear it.
I love the vroom, vroom.
You got to hear the proper sound. The sound of the
backing out.
Fuel getting injected into the pistons.
I remember once I went to Luna Park, and that's what you hear. It's a vroom, vroom. It just sounds good.
Now you can't hear anything.
It's depressing. Also, day 3 of the cricket is today.
Oh, the GOAT. Nice, Gary.
Gazza's still as good as ever.
Again, he's done it. So there's just so much to talk about on the show. We almost need 3 hours for this one. Oh. And of course, Liam's going to give a bit of a summary of his trip and tell us about all the shenanigans that he got up to.
Yes, St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Ooh,
beautiful.
Say no more.
Yes, I'm going to head to a song now. This is Sport Desk on Sin 90.7. That was in 1975, the sound here on the Sports Desk on Sin 90.7. This is Liam and Michael, and of course, Lucy.
Me. I'm here for the my AFLW appearance.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
The grand final, the pride of South Australia.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't they be happy? They're just going to go on like a 2-month bender now.
Yep.
They are so happy.
They don't need work, just...
No.
Yeah, none.
But to knock off the Brisbane Lions, who...
I tipped Adelaide. I did. I don't know who you guys tipped.
On Friday, all of us said Adelaide on the Friday Sports Desk show.
The only reason why I said Adelaide is because Brisbane didn't lose.
Yeah, I think so. When I was watching it with a few of the girls that I play football with, and one of them said, I think Adelaide will win just because Brisbane hasn't lost a game. And if Brisbane lost a game, I reckon they would have won. Because sometimes you need to lose a game to sort of feel pumped. You know what I mean?
That's right. And Adelaide had lost... Well,
they lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row, which probably made them feel like they've got something to really
prove. And their last quarter comeback against Collingwood.
Oh, it was sensational.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
And I think that really gave them big momentum going into the next week, because I know for a fact I've played in a few draws, and it's just one of the weirdest feelings you have after the game. It's like a feeling of numbness. You don't really know what to feel. I've over played in losers or wins, never draws. Draws. And even the crowd after a draw, they feel like it's just really flat. And so I think Brisbane having that draw in the last game of the season probably, and Carlton were really breathing down their necks all day. In fact, probably Carlton played a better game, and you just got to wonder how much they contributed to this week's result. But we should get to the result.
Yes.
It was Brisbane 4-5-29, and the Adelaide Crows, the winning score 4-11-35. So they were a little bit inaccurate, but regardless of that, they got the results, and wow, what an absolute win.
The scoreline favours Brisbane.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think so.
But I think Adelaide had more chances, and if you were watching, you would definitely see that Adelaide was definitely the more dominant team on the day.
And was there any question of the best on ground? Was there any debate of who could have won it?
No.
2 goals to 28 touches. Aaron Phillips.
7 tackles as well.
Yeah. The most tackles, I think, on the ground. Let me just check. Yeah, the most tackles on the ground.
Yeah.
And let's just if for a female, her body's the dream body. That is peak physical condition.
Absolutely.
Very scary.
Optimal health. Yeah. Optimal health.
That is the
The only thing that I don't like about Erin Phillips is the fact that she's 31, so there might not be many years left of her.
Yeah. Well, but she is such an elite athlete, and she's been in such in elite sporting environments for so long that her body probably she would know how to recover. She knows how to treat her body right and things like that. She would still have at least 4 or 5 years, I reckon.
That's right. She's already talking about the Olympics.
Yeah,
She's already talking about the Olympics. She has played so many different codes of sport and won so many awards. This is just another trophy to her.
Yeah.
Well, she could add another medal tonight, is it?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night? Another medal?
The AFLW award.
Absolutely.
But aside from Erin Phillips, who obviously played an amazing game, I think it was Adelaide. Adelaide and Brisbane have been two sides that have been really lucky to have depth across their whole squad.
That's correct.
Because the Victorian teams have all been a little bit stretched, considering there's 4 of them in Victoria. The talent pool isn't that wide. But
and
Adelaide...
some players, like, not naming names, Mo Hope doesn't perform as well, Mo Hope.
But Adelaide and Queensland have been really lucky in that they've both sort of ended up with state sides. Queensland...
Well, Adelaide has 2 states. They have NT and South Australia.
And when we mention the Northern Territory, this is an incredible statistic. The Darwin girls are estimated to have flown 45,000 kilometres during the 7 weeks home and away season, which is just phenomenal, including 2 induction camps. So to think that many kilometres are flown, like the Adelaide Crows have, particularly I think the last 3 weeks they were travelling just about everywhere, including this week where they had to travel to Queensland again. So
Queensland,
it's unbelievable the amount of travel.
But it's the depth of the Adelaide squad where they have Chelsea Randall coming off halfback. They have Erin Phillips and
she
Marinoff.
was outstanding as well.
She was.
Marinoff and Phillips in the middle, just dominating, and then obviously Sarah Perkins up forward.
Everyone would be, even the Brisbane players would be upset. The one player who would be very upset, and I still can't really pronounce the name, is the Brisbane captain.
Emma Zilke,
that's it. Brisbane were down by 5 points with 3 minutes ago, I think.
Yes.
She gave away a freaking 50-metre penalty.
She gave away 2 in the grand final.
As a captain, as a player, in the last 3 minutes of a grand final, which you could win, Brisbane had the momentum in that time. As a captain, giving away a 50-metre penalty.
It's not good enough, really.
And there's a much longer break for the women's competition than the men's, so she'll be sitting on that, hopefully, for a long time. That should be eating her alive.
It was very disappointing, but she gave away a 50, and then not only that, there was like the big call after the siren had gone for Brisbane thought there was a holding the ball.
Yeah, that's...
Inside the 50, which could have been interesting considering they were only like a goal down.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It was never going to be paid, ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Another thing I want to talk about, the premiership poster. I was wondering if they were going to make it. Mark Knight was going to make a premiership poster. He did. A few people didn't like it because they said it looked too girly.
I had a little bit of an issue with that too. Like, it was a bit too much.
But see, my opinion on this is, I think it's meant to, just for this year, to be like, this is a girl poster. This needs to be. This is the females. Also, I think, you know that pose Tex Perkins did where she had her arms out like that?
Yeah.
I would have based it off that.
Oh my god, yeah, true.
Just shape their body and have that with a cup in her hand type of thing.
Oh, I like that actually. That would have been really good. But I think he went more of the Erin Phillips look.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought it was Erin Phillips as well.
Now that I can really see it, I think he's gone the Erin Phillips.
Yeah, I think this one's meant to. I think because it's the first year, it was meant to be over the top.
Yeah.
This is meant to be. This is the girls.
Yeah, but as you said, we spoke about this like on Facebook yesterday. If you didn't make it, this was going to be a completely different conversation.
I used to love every Monday on Grand Final week getting the magazine, the record. Ever since 08, I've got it.
Yeah.
And they just don't. They should have the women's one. And I didn't get it. I was disappointed.
No, but it was a great grand final, especially considering the drama of the week beforehand.
Oh, we could talk for hours about everything about the grand final.
Oh yeah, but the girls did a very, very good job, and it was obviously like a monumental occasion. Adelaide have risen up, and so they have the awards tomorrow night.
They do.
Who do we think will take home?
Well, as much as I think Daisy Pearce will probably get the most 3 votes, I think Erin Phillips will probably win because I think she'll get votes in every round.
Consistently across the board. She'll get
there was never a round that where like Erin Phillips didn't really play that good. She would have at least got a vote every round.
Yeah. Without sounding like I'm not saying this because Carlton, but I think Bree Davey is a very, very, very good chance.
She missed too many games in such a small season. I thought she missed 2.
No, she was going to miss 2, but then she came back early.
I even think in such a small season, missing 1 game would hurt.
Bree Davey won the Herald Sun Player of the Year, and she won women's footy on the TV as well. She won that. But I still think Erin Phillips might just take it away from her. But it'd be good to see Bree Davey win, I reckon. Another code hopper, actually.
Most of them have been code hoppers.
And also, to mention the goal kicking, Darcy Vescio will win the inaugural goal kicking award, which is
the
absolutely
Darcy Vescio medal.
The Darcy Vescio medal, as it will be named.
What's that lady's name? Oh, I can't remember her name. The old lady who's done a lot for women's football. The one who
Susan Alberti.
Yeah, that's who the best and fair should be named after. That's
true. Yeah,
I think so.
She's
been a great advocate.
She's a beautiful woman.
There was a documentary about her and Mo Hope, and it was a really good documentary, just about her troubles with her, talked about her husband, the fact that she was on a plane when her daughter died.
That was
like
so
some of the stuff, it was
She
amazing.
went to my high school.
Did she?
Susan Alberti, and donated all this money to my high school so we could build a new auditorium.
Wow.
So there's definitely lots of, aside from this whole season being the first grand final, there'll be the first, best and fairest winner and everything like that. There's still so many like historic things to come. Namings of medals, naming of the grand final medal and everything like that.
Absolutely.
So
well, Adelaide now are 3-0 in grand finals. Adelaide just cannot seem to lose the grand final.
Yeah.
Let's keep that record
Which
going.
when we talk about the males after this, we'll talk about maybe Adelaide could make it 4-0.
They potentially could. It's a scary prospect up there.
Yes.
Certainly something going on.
We'll head to a song now, and we'll go back. We'll go to the round one of the AFL season next on the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7.
SYN 90.7 FM, you're listening to the Sports Desk with Liam, the man who is back fresh from Ireland, and Lucy as well, and this is obviously Michael, and we are talking AFL. The first round kicked off on the weekend. As I was saying before, 400,401 supporters came to support their clubs in this round of football, and just unbelievable crowds, and broke the record, which is absolutely outstanding for the AFL. Hopefully the trend can continue, but it all began on Thursday night, where Carlton played Richmond, and we kind of expected a little bit more from Carlton. Well, some people did.
I had no hope in Carlton.
No hope in Carlton?
Nah.
You didn't think the new installation of more GWS players would have?
No, I did not think
helped?
GWS 2.0 would do well.
The Reece Palmer? No, absolutely not.
He played?
No, he did play. He did play.
I was just getting off my plane, so I wasn't.
Yeah, no. Look, it was a pretty dismal performance from the Blues. They did stay in the game up until about half time, but after that, the Richmond Tigers, they just blew it out, and it was led by one man, and his name is Dustin Martin. Absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I heard he was good. He was
4
very goals, 38 touches, was it?
It was very much along those lines, and he was just brilliant, including kicking the ball to set up Josh Caddy in the goal square.
Which went to, I'm pretty sure landed in Etihad Stadium.
I think it did. I think it went all the way past Football Park and all the way to Etihad Stadium. It was a huge kick. But yeah, 33 touches, 4 goals, and that spiralling bomb was just brilliant. But Mark Murphy, good return, 35 disposals. Wiedering up forward looked really good. I think that's going to be a decision that Brent Bolden keeps doing. I think he looked very, very solid up there. Had a little bit of a leg niggle towards the end of the game, but he seems to think he's going to be all right. But a couple of decent performers. 73,137 there at the G, so very good crowd for a Thursday night.
Now we got on Friday, and Doggies have a nice recruit. In Bob Murphy, I don't know if you heard of him. Nice young player.
Yeah, nice young player.
Did okay.
Apparently he's pretty good at country music as well. Yeah, doesn't do too badly.
A bit of a swing there, forward and back. Not a bad pickup.
Decent composure for a young man. Very, very good. But it was a good return for Bob. Obviously, everyone's heart went out to him when, of course, the incident happened last year in round 3. But there was another brilliant recruit as well, I think. And look, not many players can single-handedly make a Joffa sit down. And it was a beautiful, beautiful moment. And if anyone didn't see it, it was Travis Cloke. He takes a mark.
Outside 50.
Outside 50. Look, maybe if he was 10 metres in front, I think the Collingwood faithful would have been a bit more confident. But he just absolutely drilled it home, put up the big 2 muscles and said, guess what, Collingwood? I'm going to play some games this year.
See, there was a part of the game when I thought the Doggies looked a bit hungover from their premiership. Yeah,
they did.
We go to Saturday with the D's. A great performance by D's.
This was great.
And I think since 06.
And I think it's worth mentioning, 2006, Australia have had about, 4 different Prime Ministers.
We've had like 1,000.
We've had 1,000. It's been a lot. Kevin Rudd was in power last time.
John Howard.
I think it was John Howard. It was Howard.
Jono.
Gee. That is unbelievable. But this was a big game. Melbourne, obviously, with their brand new coach, Simon Goodwin. He has been at the club for a while, but this was his first senior coaching game, and he did extremely well, got his men over the line. The biggest probably talking point out of this game is Nick Riewoldt. It was a terrible incident.
Oh, thank God he's not. I was thinking to myself when I saw it, that could be his career.
I thought it was like this season's Bob Murphy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was real worried.
And I was waiting for St Kilda to win the premiership after that, actually. I was thinking, St Kilda premiership favourites. But no, he's fine. He's got to miss a few weeks.
But
he's good.
So there is no structural damage, thankfully. It's just I think it's his right knee. So he obviously, it wasn't actually done when he landed in the marking contest. It was when he actually went to go and tackle. So he put his leg back, and there was a bit of a click. It's not the nicest thing to see. But yeah, thankfully he's going to be okay. New D, Jordan Lewis, played extremely well. 32 disposals.
Not bad for a young man.
6 inside 50s. And hit the bowl patch very, very well this time round. Thankfully there's no spider cam at Etihad Stadium, so he was safe. Gawn, 49 hit-outs. I think that was the difference. I think the Demons pretty much won that game through their midfield. The Saints were pretty dismal in there. Clayton Oliver, a very, very young man, 36 possessions, 14 contested, and a game-high 9 clearances and 8 tackles. So he was just monstrous. Whether he can actually sustain that kind of performance throughout the entire year. I know he kind of dropped off last year. It was his first year, so that's to be expected. But he's looking very good, so another very talented demon in that midfield as well.
Yes, now let's go to the next game with the Swans taking on Port Adelaide. Sydney coming off, of course, their grand final loss last year.
That's right.
I don't think anyone had Port.
I don't think anyone had Port, to be honest with you.
It was a great performance by Port Adelaide in the end.
It was terrific.
By a lot. Oh, not a lot, 28 points.
And I think the biggest question, is this the 2014 Port Adelaide?
It's round one. You can't you wait till round 5.
That's right.
Remember in 2014, St Kilda was 3-0 and they finished last.
That's right. I think a lot of people will be jumping the gun on Port, but I think this is a very, very important win.
Let's talk about jumping the gun. Let's go to the next game.
Oh, come on.
Premiership favourites. Premiership fancies.
Can I just say one thing? Powell Pepper put a lot of pepper in the game. 2 goals from outside 50. He's in my super coach. He did extremely well. Keep your eye on Powell Pepper. But yes, let's get to...
this is all yours.
Let's get to the most important game of the round. The Essendon Faithful were out in their absolute droves on the weekend. It was at Birrung Ma where it happened. Come back at the G. There was a Snapchat filter for it, Liam. It was huge. It is
big. If there's a Snapchat field, it's big.
There's about 1,000 fans there, I reckon, at least. They were playing all the replays from the past encounters with Hawthorn, of course, the 1984-85 Grand Finals, where the Bombers upset them in the first one, thrashed them in the second one. And this game was absolutely huge. There were 78,000 people there. I was up in the nosebleed section, so I was right up in the heavens. But it didn't matter. I witnessed one of the greatest performances in AFL history. The Dons getting up against the premiership favourites?
No,
Okay, well, you know, I like to say they are.
That was a real dampener on that really big... Oh.
Are they still in the window? I don't know.
They didn't look... Watching the game... I'm sorry to interrupt you here.
No, please. let's just boost them up.
But yeah, ever since... Actually, watching them, thinking to myself, they're not the same Hawthorn. They didn't look like the same Hawthorn. Maybe because Hodge was also out.
Yep.
Very good. You know, I've never seen so many people just getting off drugs in one area. It's a good rehab group. Very good rehab group. 78,000 people.
Good rehabilitation
game.
Yeah,
no, look, 78,000 of them.
I think where Essendon won this game was particularly with their run and their carry. They were so quick with the ball. Pretty much as soon as they got the footy, they were just pretty much looking over their shoulders straight away and looking for the quick options. I thought, and it probably doesn't reflect in the statistics, but I thought Parrish was extremely good with the ball. First game for our number 1 draft pick.
The Canadian.
McGrath, the Canadian. He played extremely well, including taking a couple of really brave grabs, and he just looked so composed in his first game, 22 disposals. Zach Merritt, again, was prolific, 37 disposals, was just unbelievable. And Heppel, in his first game as skipper for the full season, he had 35 disposals and 3 goals. He was unbelievable. And Fantasia, 4 goals up forward. And I'm really liking our little redhead recruit, Joshy Green from the Brisbane Lions. Really set up a lot of play. It was really, really good in the forward line. Great use of the ball. And we can't forget Ruffy. Ruffy coming back from a very, very big cancer scare. And, our thoughts were with him last year. He didn't get to play a senior game. Bloke from Liam Gaffer, much like Heppel. And, when he kicked that goal, I think even the Essendon fans
everyone cheered.
Everyone was cheering. Everyone was riff-raffy on that one. And he was really good in his return. 2 goals. Played really well.
You mentioned how good Merritt was. Paul Roos said yesterday that he would have took him number 1. Would have took Zach Merritt. This is the same draft as Bontempelli.
Wow.
Cripps. I think Cripps was in the draft as well.
I think he was.
He would have took Bontempelli number 1. Not Bontempelli, sorry, Merritt at number 1.
I think Bontempelli would have been an easy second, but I tell you what, Zach Merritt, he's really coming into a completely different player to his brother Jackson.
He actually gets a game.
But this was a huge game for Essendon, and their uncontested possessions, 128 to 76, really helped them across the line. And another little statistic for you as well, guys.
Ooh.
First time since round 10, 2002. Without at least one out of these 3, Luke Hodge, Sam Mitchell, or Jordan Lewis. First time Hawthorn have played without those 3 players since 2002. All of those players out of the side. And was it defining in the end of the day? Well, they certainly looked very different.
Well, we'll go to the biggest game, the game of the round. The game that actually had less than the AFL Women's Grand Final in attendance was the Q Clash.
This is unbelievable.
I think
it had less attendance than the Grand Final.
It had only 12,000, and this was obviously Metricom. It was a free event for the Grand Final for the women's, but even still, 12,000 for this one. It's one of the best games of the round.
It was a good game. It was a close game with Gold Coast coming back, but I think Brisbane again. What I said before I left with the Brisbane the Doggies, for them in their development, the fact that they can do their first half is what they should do. That's their goal, which they should try to do for 4 quarters. So I think it was good for Brisbane, good win. Gold Coast, very disappointing. Still have them in my 8, but still disappointing for the Suns. Go down to Sunday with the Kangaroos taking on Josh Kennedy.
Kennedy and Sam Mitchell.
They had a nice year. But talk about their young new recruit. And I've been thinking, I'm surprised I haven't said this yet. I'm going to put money on this. Sam Mitchell will play 400 games. There's no way he'll retire.
38 disposals on the weekend. Was it a better performance than Adele? I think a few people are asking that. The jury is out. Josh Kennedy, 7 goals as well. He just continues to deliver. And their forward line is so well balanced. They've got Cripps and they've got Lacroix. They kick 7 goals between them as well. So they're going to be a hard team to beat this year.
Yes, I was just there, Ruck. We were saying before how good it was that Petrie didn't get booed.
Petrie didn't get booed. I think that was a good sign of respect because in all honesty, it was North Melbourne's board that kicked him out of the club. The fans wanted Drewy to stay. They wanted all their other players to stay. So I thought it was really good that they didn't boo him.
Then we go between Adelaide Crows and the Giants.
Wow. Did you expect this?
There's a difference between being the hunter and then being the hunted. And the Giants, first game it's been the hunted, being premiership favourites, couldn't stand up to the pressure, and Crows, who I put in my grand final, showed that they should be premiership favourites.
I was watching that third quarter live, and I just couldn't believe just how many goals were scored. It was just prolific.
27 tackles the Giants laid in the third quarter.
It was just unbelievable just how amazing Adelaide can score. They can score so quickly. And Betts only kicked 4 goals. I reckon he set up about 6.
And Betts almost died. With that specky.
He did. The oxygen went straight to the head. But he was just unbelievable. And, 56-point thumping. You just wouldn't believe it from the flag favourites. And Tex Walker wasn't even in. And that's the scary part as well.
Adelaide has by far the best forward line in the AFL.
Without a doubt. And
the Giants are good. But I think Adelaide, they can hit you from everywhere.
And I'm starting to look at their back line as well. With Rory Laird getting 42 disposals, you start to look at that back line as well and you go, wow. They've really got some
if
great
Adelaide
spread.
weren't in premiership contentions, they would be now. Should be one of the teams you can talk about to win the premiership this year. Now let's talk about the best game. I love this game.
Oh.
The game, the 2 players that were talked about more than the game itself was Fife versus Dangerfield, and I think they both played average.
Yeah.
They both meh.
It was an average game.
It was, and there'll be people out there who go, Geelong should be premiership favourites. They played a word that starts with S. No. But Freo just played more S-er.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was
look, Fife coming back from an injury, he played very well to get 28 disposals and a goal, and but they've gone on Supercoach points here, and Dangerfield's gotten an extra 30 for getting those 3 goals, which was important. But yeah, you look at this game, and it was pretty lackluster. A lot of mistakes coming from both sides, and
like I said to you before, I said Freo looked like a game that was lagging. Every team looked smooth with their transition. Freo made everything look hard.
They did.
They made a kick look like the hardest thing ever. They were playing the game on hard. or legendary or whatever the modes are in games. And there was a player for Freo who we got from Geelong, Shane Kirsten. If he never plays again, I'll be happy. Oh my God! And we thought Dawson was a spud. This is like the spud has evolved into Shane Kirsten.
Dawson might be leading some of the statistics from now on. You never know.
Oh, he makes Dawson look like Fife. There was one kick straight in front through the hands.
Oh.
But the Freo's new look forward line didn't fire.
He was a little bit nervous playing against his old club, you reckon?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
But Freo's first game against Freo's first new look forward line. The new look. Didn't win before.
McCarthy didn't do much.
Almost kicked as many points as Waite. Waite kicked 1 goal 7. McCarthy kicked 1 goal 5.
He did. It was pretty lackluster, but at the end of the round, I think the 3 big teams coming out of this one was probably Adelaide, just because it was just a thumping performance against a very highly rated side in the GWS Giants. You'd have to say Melbourne just looked extremely good, and St Kilda, you'd fancy them to be a top 8 contender as well, and then Essendon as well, which is my club. I'm very very proud of them, and if we can beat Brisbane next week, then I can finally maybe sleep at night.
It's funny the fact that last year you played for the Wooden Spoon. This year you're both undefeated. What a game!
It's a big turnaround.
And depends where it's at. It might not even be at the Gabba.
It might not be. It's looking like it's Metricom at the moment. That surface is not getting any better anytime soon, I don't think.
But before we go to this one, let's talk about Adelaide. They got over the Giants.
They did.
They have Hawthorn next week. But if they can beat Hawthorn, this is who they have. They have Port, then Essendon, Gold Coast, Richmond, North, Melbourne, Brisbane, Freo, and then in round 11 they play Geelong at Simmons. But that's not a bad run.
They could be 7-0.
They could be 10-0.
If everything goes well. I mean, they have to play premiership favourites Essendon though. I mean, that's going to be a difficult game. But no, it's they are looking so sharp, and with a couple of players coming back into that side, they're just going to continue to get better. And Rory Sloane didn't play any JLT games either, so he's just going to keep getting better the more time he has on the park. So yeah, they're scary.
Like we say, I say round 1's pretty much like round 4 of the JLT. Nothing.
Yep.
You can't really make it a fair assumption. Apart from the fact that Carlton's going to be trash.
Well, considering the Tigers are 3rd currently on the ladder and GWS are last, you don't think that's going to stand for the rest of the season.
I think Freo's content where they are. Nice 17th on the ladder.
Yep, I think you'd take number 2 draft pick.
Yeah.
I think you'd be very happy with that. But yeah, it was a great round of footy. First round under the belt, and we can't wait for Thursday night where it's the grand final rematch, which is going to be awesome.
That's going to be...
and the Doggies are going to reveal their flag.
On Thursday night, it's Richmond versus Collingwood.
Oh. Well, I think it's Friday night.
Yeah,
okay. Friday night.
It is going to be delicious.
Delicious, buddy.
Let's go to some. We're going to talk about the A-League here on the spot test on SYN 90.7. We are back here on the Sports Test on SYN 90.7. Live, yep.
We're
no,
live.
It's a 10-second... No, sorry, it's a 9-second delay?
All right, we're not live. Well, that was disappointing.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to be talking some A-League, and they call it A-League for a reason. It was another big round. This was a full round, which is good. I don't like the split round stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan.
I was overseas and I was thinking to myself, I can't wait for next week, and then there was a split round for some stupid reason.
There's only 2 games. It's like,
It was really silly to have a split round
stupid.
considering the start of the AFL and all of that. Like, I would think that the A-League would want to keep people watching for as long as they can before AFL starts, and everyone's like, nah.
Clearly too invested in the Socceroos playing Iraq, I think.
Yeah,
that's probably why they did
yeah,
it. But
true.
no, big results. Friday night, the Wanderers bet Melbourne City, which bit of a surprise. You'd kind of think Melbourne City might have gave a bit more of a yelp considering where Wanderers are on the league ladder. Saturday, the 25th of March, the Central Coast Mariners couldn't get over the line against the Adelaide United, and bit of a surprise here, the Brisbane Roar. They uproared the Melbourne Victory. But
that's 2 upsets in a row.
2 upsets in a row. Brisbane Roar. They did very, very well. And we were talking a couple of weeks before about how Melbourne Victory do play away from home. They do play very, very well with a big crowd with them. But probably smaller crowd in Brisbane as well. Just Melbourne Victory weren't there.
They were not there.
Due to that loss, Sydney FC are now the champions. Their second championship plate, which they won their first one in 2010.
They did.
Yeah, and Sydney have had a very good season. They had that unbeaten run
of
they've had 18 games.
Not a bad season.
Yeah,
okay.
Not a bad season. So Sydney have done very, very well. Definitely deserving premiers.
Wellington won 5-0 against Newcastle, and there was no glory for the Perth Glory.
Certainly wasn't.
Losing to Sydney 3-0 to close up the round. Also,
I just think if you're a Perth team and you have purple, it's
just give up on life, please. You're embarrassing.
Isn't Fremantle purple as well?
Exactly.
That's what I'm alluding to. This is ridiculous. It's not working for you. It never has. It never will.
Yes.
But no, Sydney FC, just unbelievable. 18 wins for the season, and only 1 loss as well, and that only came recently. So for them to maintain that over 24 games is just phenomenal.
And there's still three rounds to go, isn't there?
I think there is.
3 rounds to go. I know it's a very long season.
It's It's almost as ridiculous as the NBA, just how long that can be. And then 7 playoffs as well.
And then they have
the NBA is still going. Sounds like a month ago.
Still going. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Also, the Socceroos failed to get over the line again. Seems like to be their thing.
Yeah, definitely gave away a really good chance against Iraq.
Russia, the only time I think they're going to go to Russia is next year's Federation Cup. I don't think they're going to make the World Cup, but...
No, it's not looking like we will.
Very, very disappointing.
We do have the UAE coming up tomorrow, and look, I don't know. This could go either way. It is at Allianz Stadium, so it is on home soil, so let's hope as many Aussie fans can get down as they possibly can, unless there's an Allianz Stadium in the UAE. I think this is in Australia.
No, I think this is in Australia.
This is in Australia.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure on the Aussies, and
a lot of pressure on Ange.
And Ange and the Postacog. Yeah,
he was meant to be like the saviour.
Yeah, he was meant to.
But if we don't make the World Cup,
he's got to get a smaller jacket. He's got to get it's too puffy.
Well,
he always has.
If we do finish third, we do have another chance. We do play whoever finishes third in the second league. So it's not like back in the old days we used to have to play a South American team.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. That was our whole thing for moving to the Asian Federation. But I think if it just makes it so much harder. But as you said, it's like the Australian way that we just like to make things hard for ourselves.
We do.
What good is playing sport and making it somewhere without a good story?
That's right.
I feel like that's what we all think.
Yeah, I think we want to make it the last game. We win and we get into the World Cup. I think that's our goal.
Just like the massive John Aloisi.
Or Josh Kennedy's goal last year. I think we played Iraq to get in.
Oh, that's right.
Josh Kennedy's goal, and he didn't even play in the World Cup.
No.
Poor Kennedy.
Poor Kennedy. How many Josh Kennedys are there?
There's too many.
There's so many.
But it'll be very, very disappointing.
They've bred very well.
Yeah. It'd be very disappointing if Australia don't make it into the World Cup.
Well, yeah, we're so used to it ever since 2006. It now seems to be a must. We must make the World Cup. It's not a...
I always love waking up 4 a.m. to watch the Socceroos get absolutely thumped.
I know, right?
It's such a dream.
It is.
It's a dream.
But that's so true. Like, it's just an expectation now that everyone would be like, oh. But imagine how much that would hurt the development of soccer in Australia.
The SBS viewership, the only time anyone watches SBS it's every 4 years.
That's right.
But yeah, it would be very, very bad for the development. But in saying that, the Matildas will probably win the next World Cup. So, that's okay.
You heard this first, guys.
Yeah,
Matildas will win the next World Cup.
If anyone's going to win a soccer World Cup in Australia, it'll be the women before the men.
Oh, definitely.
No doubt.
And Erin Phillips will get the medal for that as well. She'll be holding up the cup.
Erin Phillips going to take up soccer. And
she'll put an extra baby in this time as well. Did we mention that? No, we didn't. I don't think we did. So there was a photo after the game.
She had the twins in the cup.
She put her twins in the Premiership Cup, and we've seen a lot of things go in the cup. But have we ever seen twins before?
No.
And if you haven't seen it, find it, because it's actually the cutest photo
It is the
ever.
cutest thing.
It's so cute.
Actually, we'll talk about how they quickly. I forgot to mention this. Why do they wear their freaking clash jumper in the grand final?
I hate it. The burgundy might clash with the dark blue and the red and the yellow. I don't know. They are two colours that might seem to clash.
I'm pretty sure her females have better eyesight than men, so
they could have wore white.
I don't think it would have been an issue. It was. I just hate clash jumpers. Maybe because I'm still hurt about 2013.
Yeah, 2013.
It just hurts me
That is the
inside.
worst clash jumper I've ever seen in a grand final.
I go to sleep at night and think to myself, why did we wear a clash jumper in 2013? It just does my head in.
Why did we do it?
Yes, that cost us the game.
Well, hopefully the Socceroos don't wear a clash jumper when they
No,
play
they better
UAE.
not.
Yeah, they wear Australia has a weird navy blue in soccer when they wear it when they're away.
It's weird.
Or they have in the past.
It's almost as good as Carlton's one.
Which one?
The lighter blue.
The one the women's wear.
Disgusting.
The light blue that the women's wear. I didn't like that one
Yuck.
either. Yeah.
Yuck.
But my favourite thing about Carlton's jumper is they have like an advertising campaign for I think it's both jumpers, but it had Sarah Hosking standing in the jumper, and then the quote is, I'm not making this up, the quote says, the best Guernsey in the competition. The quote source, most people. I was like, that's a real, like, I wonder who they surveyed for that. Just most people.
Most people.
Most people believe it. Well, hopefully...
Or Mars bar eaters said this.
Well, hopefully most people get down to Allianz Stadium tomorrow night to cheer on the Socceroos.
That's right.
We need them
The one in
win.
Australia.
Yeah, the one in Australia.
Not the one in the UAE.
We need them to win.
Liam's checked it for us and it's not
Yeah,
there.
no,
He tried to find it. It's not there.
But yeah, that wraps up the A-League and Socceroos news. And after this, we're going to go to the test.
Yeah, the big test.
The final test, a must-win test for Australia.
And beautiful views of the Himalayas as well.
That's true. Yeah, that's
must get very cold there, I reckon, playing cricket. Oof. But certainly not the GOAT's performance. We'll talk about that next
on the Sports Desk. Back here on 9.7. Michael's just finished dancing. It was a beautiful dance. Woof.
I'm still trying to get my voice back from Saturday night when the Dons played. Tell you what, wow.
Boy, oh boy, wowee.
Boy, oh boy, wowee, did you see that? We're going to head straight to the cricket, and wow, it's all happening I was about to say in Nepal, but it's not too far away from Nepal.
Well, do not say India and Nepal are the same place. I know some Nepali people.
If I said India and Bangladesh, there would have been a war.
Oh no, India and Nepal is the same thing as well. They don't like that.
India and Pakistan. No, I'm not.
But Pakistan and India are the same place. They are the same place.
Oh jeez, you're going to receive hate mail after that, mate. Go back to Ireland. Now the test is really heading up. This is of course the fourth test, the final decider. Harbhajan Singh is so angry because he's going, Australia would have lost 4-0. He was convinced. But then again, you wouldn't believe anything that he says. But it was a lion-hearted performance from the GOAT. The GOAT, the Himalayan goat. The Himalayan goat. Just lugging cement up and down the mountain. And he took some big wickets. He's kind of doing the Graham Swan. He's got the glasses going while he's bowling, which I have never seen the GOAT do, which is a little bit different, but seemed to work for him.
It's working for him, yeah.
Took 4 wickets yesterday, including the huge scalps of it was an interesting start because Australia on the first day only made 300 runs, and they were about 6 for 200. With Kuldeep, the brand new spinner, only 22 years of age, and he took 4 wickets and looked very, very good. And Australia again had a middle order collapse.
That doesn't sound like the Aussies. That's not something they do.
No,
they've got the strongest middle order.
And here's gullible me thinking that we put that behind us, and no, absolutely not. Look, it all started very well for the Aussies on the first day. Coley ruled out with a shoulder injury. You always like to see him out of a side, which is brilliant.
Oh, he's my favourite player. I love him.
Oh, such a nice guy as well. Such a nice guy.
I would
totally
always
not
love
pretentious.
The bad guys are the best. You love to be the bad guys. The one who just ticks people off, always the best.
You need someone like that in Test cricket. You need someone like that. As much as you hate to see him play well, you need someone like that. Because when he doesn't play well,
you love it.
You have one of the best days of your life. You seriously do. And the Aussies look comfortable as well. They were cruising along, 2 for 153. Warner and Smith, a huge 100-run partnership. But then it was another one of our typical collapses. We lost 4 for 47 in an hour of cricket, and then 5 for 77 in 30 overs. And it was just pretty dismal. Wade did make 50, but it was Smith again. He is just unbelievable.
Captain Courageous.
That was his 20th Test century. He goes right up there with
He
Don
hasn't
Bradman.
hit puberty yet, so he's doing quite well, young man.
Extremely well.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for it.
You know, his voice, he's like, good job, guys.
Well, I thought we played really well today. You know, I don't know when he's going to crack a smile as well, but
he's been very serious this whole test.
He is, yeah.
Which fair enough.
Playing well.
If they win, I think
he's the greatest captain of all time.
Exactly.
He can have his first drink when they win.
Yeah, exactly. But no, in all seriousness, we spoke about this when we won the first test, about how long it's been since we won a series in India. And what? It was like the iPhone wasn't invented yet.
Yep.
It was like way back then.
Pluto was still a planet.
I think Pluto's made a comeback since then as well.
I think it has.
You know, yeah.
I think it has. You've got to love Pluto.
Got to love Pluto. But yeah, if they win, it'll be seriously historic and sort of gives Smith something over all those other captains.
I think so, because I think the last captain to win in India would have been Ricky Ponting. And, that was a very hard-fought series, and India had some prolific run scorers in that series. But this is I think Australia being 6 for 200, they probably would have thought they would have been dismissed very soon after that. But they managed to get to 300, which gives them a big fighting hope in this test. India currently sit at 6 for 248. Saha and Jadeja not out overnight, but it was, as we said, Nathan Lyon, those 4 crucial scalps. Just when India started to look very comfortable with Rahul and Pujara at the pitch, and you know how well they can do, particularly looking at the last test. So it's in the balance. We go into the third day today, not really knowing what to expect. I think if Australia can get India out, if India can have a small lead, because they are still 52 runs behind, if India can kind of be around the same mark for about 300, I think Australia would really fancy themselves.
I think so too.
And I'm waiting for David Warner to do something a little bit more.
Same.
And knock it out again.
Yeah, he got that
to
56.
these late cuts. Stop late cutting. Stop it.
Yeah, when I saw first slip, I was like, again, come on, David.
Hopefully another century from Smith would be good.
It'd be handy. Even Maxwell.
Renshaw will probably face 6,955 balls and score 5 runs.
That would be nice. That would be very nice. And I think we should also mention the bowling performance from Aussie Quick, Hazelwood and Cummins. Just some of Cummins' short balls yesterday really set up the wickets. And that usually happens in cricket. A player will bowl so well. They'll bowl a brilliant spell of cricket. They won't get any reward, but usually at the other end, the player might just slack off and then the wicket will come. But I thought those 2 fast bowlers really set up the pressure for Lyon to come in and get those wickets.
Well, Hazelwood is the best fast bowler in the world.
He is, technically. According to stats.
Yes, stats don't lie. Stats never lie.
Stats never lie.
No.
So tell me, if we draw this test...
They get the trophy.
We still win. Because we won in Australia, we won the Border Gavaskar trophy. So all we have to do is draw this test.
Oh, okay.
We need a win or a draw. We can't let India win.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Get Renshaw. Just get Renshaw to block everything.
Yeah, just block it.
I'd get him to bat at number 9. Yep. Just get him to bat way down the order and just bat out a draw.
Because Renshaw would love to bat a day and score 10 runs.
He could.
And he would do it with a smile as well.
And I'm so impatient. I'm a 20-year-old and I can barely sit still at all. Like right now, I'm jumping up and down in the studio. It's ridiculous. It's like a mini trampoline underneath me. It's crazy. But he's 20 years old and he could just sit down all day and stare at you. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he is.
Apparently he's a little bit of a weird bloke.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
You'd have to be if you can be that patient.
Yeah, true.
And you need someone weird. You don't want someone just bland.
Yeah.
In other cricket, though, Sheffield Shield final is happening at the moment with Victoria looking to
They're looking very, very good.
Yes.
The Victorians at the end of day's play, 3 for 322, and it was Marcus Harris
120, not bad effort.
Not a bad effort off 189 balls. You'll take that. He had a really, really good T20 Big Bash series, I thought. He played really well for the Renegades, and now he's finally doing it. Interesting, playing in Alice Springs this final. So I suppose because they're playing Adelaide, I suppose it's somewhere kind of...
Yeah.
It's definitely not in the middle,
the way
but
that it's going, it sounds like Northern Territory is going to become a part of South Australia soon.
It does.
That, like,
the AFL Women's League has certainly shown that it's the favoured destination.
Yeah.
But would we be called South Australia anymore? Will be called Central Australia?
Yeah, it'll be Central Australia.
Central Australian football.
You know, that was fun fact of the day. That was a state once upon a time. There was Alice Springs was the capital of Central Australia. Fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day. There we go. It's coming back.
See,
Central Australia's going to make a comeback.
See, ever since I came back from Ireland, I've just got a new...
Like Pluto. Shout out to Pluto if you're listening.
Who's Victoria playing in the final, Michael?
They're playing South Australia.
South Australia.
In Central Australia.
In Central Australia. Also, Travis Dean played very, very well as well. 94 off 187. And the not-out batsman is Quiney's not out on 44 off 83.
And Whitey
as well. So if they can kick on till tomorrow, potentially declare around 500 if they bat well, they will certainly put Adelaide to the
always good to have, yeah.
Not Adelaide, I mean, South Australia.
Central Australia now.
Yeah, Central Australia.
Central Australia. Well, we're just going to refer to them that.
We cannot finish the show without talking about the Formula One,
no.
which no one on the sports desk knows about except for our special guest, Melissa.
Sebastian Vettel.
But there we go.
There was cars, and they raced.
No cars, they raced.
And they don't make noise anymore.
And they don't make noise anymore. We actually spoke about that on Friday. Apparently, because of like all of the engineering and all of this technology and stuff that's gone into it.
I miss it.
The sound has gone, and Melissa was saying on Friday that, like you, Michael, a lot of racing fans are missing it.
Yeah,
and apparently that's the next thing they're going to do. They're going to bring back the noise.
It's going to be a big thing as well. The noise is back.
I need to start populating bees in my backyard. It's one or the other. I need noise on that day. But this is an important win. Look, Ferrari haven't had a huge win for a while. Mercedes have just been extremely dominant in the titles at the moment, with particularly Lewis Hamilton just dominating. But Vettel won by almost 10 seconds from Hamilton and Mercedes, teammate Valtteri Bottas, and it was a commanding victory. It was Ferrari's first win in Melbourne since 2007, and this is Vettel's second win in Australia after winning in 2011, but he was racing with Red Bull around then as well. And this is the German's fourth-time world champion and his fourth win for Ferrari. His first since Singapore in 2015, so it's been a little while between drinks for the German, and his 43rd career win overall. So
what a guy.
He's a champion.
And
he's an absolute champion.
Daniel Ricciardo?
And Daniel Ricciardo was probably the disappointment of the day. It was just it all started when that car had to be towed to the starting line. It couldn't
never good sign.
Couldn't even get through the opening lap, the warm-up lap. So when all of that happened, you're thinking, gee, he's not going to start in a good position anyway. So he's probably going to have to claw his way back throughout the race. But then it happened. The car got stuck in sixth gear on the way to the starting grid minutes before the race, and practically it was all over then. He had to walk away. Practically, he was out of the race for the whole game, and it was just a sad look on Ricciardo's face. He's usually a pretty positive guy, got a smile, but he really struggled.
It's just really hard for him, I suppose, like being home, having the opening of the F1 season. There's always been expectation on him here. And for that to happen, that's not...
Much like Mark Webber, there's a lot of pressure on those Aussies, particularly coming to Melbourne and trying to perform in the Grand Prix.
Well, yeah, because most Aussies don't really know anyone else apart from the Aussies.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And the one thing I know about the Grand Prix, every year they always talk about moving it. Every year it's always like, Victoria don't want it anymore.
They're even talking about Sydney co-hosting as well, which...
Sydney just wants everything Australia has. They probably want the AFL Grand Final.
It's like, wouldn't it be nice instead of Albert Park Lake to have the Sydney Opera House? I'm like, well, yeah, you'd have to have it on the water.
Yeah, well, Melissa said to us on Friday that apparently that the government in Sydney is just like being like, we'll close the bridge, so they go over the bridge.
Oh, yeah, because no one goes on the harbour. No one goes on the harbour bridge. Yeah, good point. That won't stop traffic at all.
I know.
No.
Especially on a Friday.
I was like, we were
jump
all
on the ferry.
Yeah, exactly. Jump on the ferry. We were like, it would be like a great, but imagine that as like a shot, like them all racing over the Sydney Harbour Bridge. But still,
it would be insane.
A bit impractical, I
think.
But
look, it would look better on maybe Gran Turismo or something like that. It would look good in real life.
We are going OT here.
We are going OT here. Good thing there's no show after us.
No.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you back, Liam.
Yes.
Welcome back. And he is wearing the
Tipperary.
Tipperary. This is what sport is this?
Well, they're all teams do hurling and football.
Hurling and football.
All counties do both.
Brilliant. So they've got many teams over the league.
Yeah, they have
Very
30. Good. How many counties are there? There's 36. Because they also do include Northern Ireland, so all the counties that are in Northern Ireland. Sorry, hit your laptop. They all participate in the stuff, even when all the issues are going on in Northern Ireland.
That's brilliant.
So you play, you try not to get blown up, but then you come home.
This is
fun.
what magic of sport, guys.
That's right.
It just brings people together.
Not getting blown up. I love it. I love it. It's like that scene from The Dark Knight Rises where he's just running across the field while it explodes.
Yeah, that's what it was like in Northern Ireland back in the day.
Island. I think that's where they got the inspiration.
There's also a London team and a New York team.
Wow.
That's why, I don't know if you've heard about them when the Aussies play Ireland in the mixed codes. That's why they always talk about playing in New York. Because they have a big thing in New York.
Yes, well, of course, a lot of Irish immigrants in New York.
Yes.
So it's brilliant. It's brilliant to have you back, Liam. Lucy, thank you again for joining us. And yes, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. And we tried to get Daisy on the show today. I did get to catch up with her on the game day, but she will be coming.
She'll be on the show.
I've had a chat to her. I told her that she won. She was ecstatic. She almost walked out on the show on Sunday morning. She was on game day. I was on game day. She struggled to contain herself. She was
so excited.
I think we should give her like a medal or something now. She needs
a medal, yeah.
We are going to make her a medal. Obviously, a big call out to everyone out there who's a craft person and who would like to make their own medal.
Oh my God, should ask Darcy Vesio to make her one.
Darcy's got a bit of talent, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So yes, we will ask her.
Actually, speaking about that, I did also go to Italy, and when you land in the airport, you hear the Carlton theme song.
Oh, you would. Darcy Vesio comes and greets you at the airport gates, yes.
Hi.
Welcome to Roma. It's beautiful. But yeah, look, unfortunately, that is the end of the AFL Women's League for 2016, but 17. But a huge success. A really big success.
Huge success.
It'll continue to grow next season. There'll be more teams, more upsets.
More games, hopefully.
More Aaron Phillips. It's just going to be...
More muscles.
So
She'll probably be more muscly next year.
I tell you what, standing next to Darcy Pearce, I felt like a twig.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. They're all very, very fit young women.
Very fit.
So get very excited. I'm already looking forward to 2018 now.
Already are.
It's going to be awesome.
Jump in the time capsule.
Yeah, can't wait for No Hope to let everyone down. It's going to be great.
It's all going to be great.
It's going to be great.
We really do have to
go. We have to go. Thank you so much for joining us
on the Sports Desk on Sin 90.7 FM.
Frank Sinatra, Frankie, me boy, don't